Welcome to Optimal. Look, we're not here to talk about New Year's resolutions or wishful thinking. We're here to talk about a combat proven system for achieving mission critical objectives. This is goal setting built specifically for the operator, a tool designed to give you that decisive edge when it really counts. All right, let's get into it.
Elite performance, it just doesn't happen by accident. It is always the result of a calculated, deliberate process. The system we're about to break down here is the blueprint for that process. It's a framework for engineering excellence, no matter the operational environment. So here's our mission brief for today. We're going to start with the why, the intel behind what makes this work. Then we'll move on to defining the objective, laying out the playbook step by step, and finally, building the system that's going to guarantee mission success. So why is this so critical? Well, think of a properly set goal like a laser designator for your mind. It paints the target for every single action you take. It just cuts through all that fog and confusion, giving you a crystal clear line of sight to your objective and fueling your drive when things get tough. This quote right here, this is really the core of it all. Do your best is like suppressive fire. You're kind of just spraying and praying. But a specific, challenging goal, that's a precision shot. It's a targeted, effective use of your resources. And the research here from Locke and Latham proves that this approach delivers superior results every single time. Okay, so we know specific, challenging goals work better. But why? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the mechanics behind it. This isn't just about feeling motivated. It's literally about rewiring your brain for peak performance. Understanding the science here is what separates wishful thinking from a reliable, repeatable process. Setting a clear objective is like giving your brain a direct order. It immediately tells it where to focus, cutting out all the noise and distractions. This intense focus then motivates you to push harder. And, this is crucial, it fuels your persistence when you inevitably hit a wall. It even helps you learn better and manage stress, all of which are absolutely critical for operational readiness. And this brings us to a really key concept, self-efficacy. Put simply, this is your rock-solid belief that you can get the job done no matter what. It's not arrogance, not at all. It's that quiet confidence that comes from your training and your abilities. This is the psychological engine that drives you forward when the odds are stacked against you. High self-efficacy is what lets an operator look at a mission that seems impossible, set a truly audacious goal, and then have the unwavering conviction to see it through. It's what keeps you in the fight when you're tired, when progress is slow, because it reinforces that fundamental belief that your effort will lead to a positive outcome. Okay, so we've covered the why, the science behind why this stuff is so powerful. Now let's shift gears to the what, because defining the right objective is absolutely critical. In our world, the wrong goal can actually be more dangerous than having no goal at all. It's all about finding that balance between ambition and what's effective for the mission. Now, the gold standard for defining a proper objective is the SMART framework. And this isn't just some corporate buzzword, okay? It's a tactical tool. It makes sure your target is crystal clear and your plan of attack is actually actionable. Your goal has to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And this slide really shows you what's at stake. On one side, you've got the positive outcomes of well-set goals, right? Enhanced performance, alignment with the bigger picture. But on the other side, you see what the research calls goals gone wild, and these are mission-damaging side effects. We're talking a dangerously narrow focus, a totally distorted sense of risk, and even a drop in your own internal motivation. So yeah, getting the objective right is mission critical. So how do we avoid that goals gone wild trap? Well, that's where the how comes in. We're moving from theory to action now. This is your playbook. It's a direct, no fluff, step-by-step process for setting and locking in your objective. Step 1 is all about precision. So what does success look like in hard numbers? You've got to define your minimum acceptable standard and your ideal outcome. Then set a clear, non-negotiable deadline. And maybe most importantly, you have to decompose that big goal. Break it down into the daily or weekly actions that you can execute with relentless consistency. A goal without a system, it's like a rifle without ammo. It's just an intention, not a real plan of attack. So this final section is all about building that support structure, that operational framework that ensures you don't just achieve your objective, you completely dominate it. Okay, before you launch your assault, you have to do a thorough recon of the terrain. And in this case, the terrain is your own set of habits. You have to ask yourself,
What is the current behavior that's taking up the time and energy I need for my new goal? You have to identify what you're up against before you can overcome it.
Next, you align your objective with your identity. Just look at the old behavior and the new goal side by side. How do they connect to your core values, to your character, to the kind of operator you want to become? Aligning your goal with your personal identity is a massive force multiplier for your motivation.
Now we make it automatic. You can literally use these formulas to engineer the new habit right into your daily battle rhythm. Link it to something you already do, create a clear, unmistakable cue, and then define your execution plan with ruthless clarity. I will do this for this long, on this date, in this place, at this time. Zero ambiguity, zero excuses. Remember, no operator works alone. Find an accountability partner in your unit, your swim buddy. Schedule regular check-ins. This creates that positive peer pressure you need to stay on track. And finally, set up a review cadence. Constantly evaluate your progress. And if your plan isn't working, you adjust fire. A plan is just a starting point, right? You have to be ready to adapt, improvise, and overcome. And hey, if you still need any more convincing, just look at the data. This chart shows the dramatic, undeniable performance boost you get from setting specific, challenging goals compared to vague instructions or, no goals at all. The difference here isn't just a little bit significant, it's a total game changer. This system works, period.
So let's be perfectly clear about this. What we've just gone through isn't a list of tips or tricks. This is an integrated, complete system for achieving your objectives. The power isn't in any single piece, but in how all the parts work together to create a reliable, repeatable process for success.
So, your next mission starts right now. Don't just file this information away. I want you to think about one area where you need to improve. Physically, technically, mentally, whatever it is. What is the one specific, measurable objective you're going to set for yourself today? Don't wait, execute.